Are you serious? Are you serious? We may have found one of the smoking guns to the Benghazi scandal that left 4 American diplomats dead, including the United Nations ambassador from the United States to Libya, Christopher Stevens. A still classified State Department email says that one of the first responses from the White House to the Benghazi attack was to contact YouTube. What? Yes. The White House said they contacted YouTube to warn of the ramifications of allowing the posting of an anti-Islamic video, according to Representative Darrell Issa, the Republican chairman of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. In other words, the White House was saying, look, by allowing this YouTube video, this could create some chaos, could create some ramifications, some violence, if you will. Folks, here's the thing about that. That video had been on YouTube 6 months. Not 6 hours, not 6 days, 6 months. So it couldn't be a spontaneous reaction to a YouTube video that had been out there 6 months. It only had 6,000 and some views. I mean, this video here will probably get 6,000, 7,000 views in one day. So you know a video that's been out 6 months with 6,000 views is not going to create an international incident, an Islamic revolution, an intifada, and do it on 9/11? Are you think I'm buying that? So this thing's starting to smell. Look at this. So the memo suggested, according to the email, the memo suggests that even as the attack was still underway, it was still going on, before the CIA began the process of compiling the talking points on its analysis of what happened, the White House believed it was a retaliation for a controversial video? No, they didn't believe it. That was the plan. That was going to be the talking points from the very beginning of this situation developing. The subject line of the email, which was sent, oh, by the way, the email was sent to YouTube at 9:11 p.m. Eastern Time on the night of the attack, is update on response to actions of Libya. So the YouTube got a video at 9:11 p.m. on the night of the attack and said, update on a response to the actions in Libya. What update? No one in the world even knew what was going on. It had just started. The email was written hours before the attack was over. And they're already contacting YouTube, concerned about ramifications. If there was already ramifications about a YouTube video that had caused this attack, YouTube would have been contacted a long time ago if you had concerns about it. The attack wasn't even over. Christopher Stevens and these other 3 diplomats who died that day were in a 7-hour gunfight with about 20 to 25 radical Islamic Muslim militants. And these Navy SEALs fought to the last bullet. And the place got burnt down. They all died. I mean, this is insane. But let's read on. There's more. Congressman Issa, has asked the White House to clarify and declassify and release the document. In the meantime, he has inserted a sentence from the email in the congressional record. Quote, White House is reaching out to YouTube to advise ramification of the posting of Pastor John video, the Pastor John video. The email reads, according to Issa. Issa's full statement, you can read it, and it's available at the beta.congress.gov. Matter of fact, I'll put a link below with the article, and then at the article you can find the link to Issa's full statement. Now, ask about the document. A senior White House official told ABC News it demonstrates that the White House genuinely believed the video sparked the attack all along, a belief that turned out to be incorrect. Also, quote, we actually think this proves what we've said. We were concerned about the video, given all the protests in the region, the official says. And the intelligence community was also concerned about the video. There was no bunch of protests in the region. There was protesting that erupted in Egypt after the Benghazi incident. After. There was one other nation that there was a small uprising protest. I forgot what that country is. Again, after news broke of what happened in Benghazi. After the talking points was released by the White House that they were blaming Pastor John of California about our anti-Islamic video. These people in Egypt and these other people didn't even know this video existed because it's been out for 6 months. Guys, it'd been out for 6 months. Also, the email shows the White House had hurried to settle on a false narrative, one at odds with the conclusions reached by those on the ground. Before Americans were even out of harm's way, they were still fighting. Or the intelligence community had made an impartial examination of the available evidence, ISA said. ISA is calling on the White House to release an unclassified version of the document. Quote, while the information I have cited from the email is clearly unclassified, the State Department has attempted to obstruct its disclosure by not providing Congress with an unclassified copy of this document, according to ISA. Now, another State Department document, this one labeled sensitive but unclassified, and dated September 12th, also refers to both to the video and to the group linked to Al-Qaeda in explaining the cause of the attack. Quote, at least 20 armed extremists, members of Ansar al-Sharia, set fire to the principal's office, allegedly retaliating for videos posted on the internet of a film deemed insulting to Islam, the memo reads, providing an early State Department summary of what happened. The thing is, when the attackers claimed credit for what they did, they never once mentioned the video on YouTube. It's after this information was published by the White House that there was a YouTube video, and after some reaction to that took place in Egypt and another country that I should have researched better. It's after these reports, 5 days later after, United Nations Ambassador Susan Rice went on 5 Sunday morning talk shows blaming the entire incident on a YouTube video. Now, I love YouTube. YouTube wasn't in Benghazi. YouTube didn't burn the place down. YouTube is not the blame. Somebody, let's not forget, Christopher Stevens died begging for help. Marines were called, but General Ham was told to stand down. He could have been there with soldiers in 45 minutes. Instead, Christopher Stevens and the 2 Navy SEALs and 1 other diplomat were left dangling and twisting in the wind for 7 more hours, fighting to the last bullet, to the last man. While all that went on, there had been tremendous amounts of warnings. Forget the YouTube video. What about all the warnings? What about all the emails by Christopher Stevens begging and begging and begging for more help? But don't forget, the United States of America did set up a no-fly zone over Libya to take Muammar Gaddafi out of power. The United States of America seized Muammar Gaddafi's gold, one of the largest piles of gold there was in the region. And the United States of America, in conjunction with NATO, did seize his weapons. We know later we found those weapons. They're still in Syria right now, being used by both Al-Qaeda and the Muslim Brotherhood to fight against Bashar Assad's regime. Also, we have just learned that some of those weapons made it to Nigeria and are in the hands of Boko Haram, who have used those weapons to slaughter and kill and murder Christians throughout Nigeria. It's the same group that abducted the 200 Christian schoolgirls from a Christian school. and still hold today. So there's a lot in this situation that's not being revealed on your mainstream media. I'm even shocked that ABC News is covering this story. But right here on YouTube is where you'll get a lot of times the truth. Oh, I know there's a lot of crazy stuff as well. But I'm just saying, if you dig and you glean and you listen to the consistency of what's being brought forth, you have a better chance of understanding what's really happening in these end times. And you say, Pastor Begley, what does this got to do with the end times? Well, it just shows you in the last days of the deception of the rise of the New World Order and the beast, which is in Revelation chapter 13. This beast is an antichrist spirit with 10 kings underneath the antichrist, all wearing crowns of blasphemy. There will be, without question, a false prophet showing great signs and wonders and deception, and will be just as oppressive as the Antichrist himself. It will be a time the world has never dreamed would come, but it's on its way. The good news is, so is Jesus. He's coming for his church. He's coming for the redeemed. You need to find out which side you're on and accept Jesus Christ as your Savior and accept him as the Lord and give your life to him. I'll be right back with more current world events and how it relates to Bible prophecy in just a moment.